So I know that this is going to be posted for all of you guys. Now I got a better gist of these lives with YouTube. I've decided that I'm going to go live on YouTube for the next couple of days and take a break from Instagram. TikTok. So you guys are in for a treat. So I'm going to just keep talking until people come in right after I take a sip of my water. So I'm going to be discussing something, a couple things. Number one, we got to talk about this real quick, man. The information that you guys are getting in relation to manifestation, it's all regurgitated information at the end of the day, okay? There's really nothing new underneath the sun. So it's very likely, there's a very possible chance that when you're listening to this information, okay, remember, it's all like pretty much regurgitated information. People just got their own little spin on things. But it's very likely, very possible that when you're listening to someone speak, it may sound very similar to another person. Okay? It may sound very similar. Now, I'm sure you guys could be able to will be able to tell if someone's straight up copying someone. But overall, it's gonna sound the same. Okay? Like, for example, the idea of impressing the subconscious mind. That's literally the key to manifestation. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard a coach personally talk about that exact same thing. Like, literally, there's a plethora of coaches that have talked about that the only thing that you need to do to manifest is to impress the subconscious mind. And I believe that to be true. I wholeheartedly believe that to be true. In fact, I know that to be true. So, that's number one. I mean, I'm mentioning this just, I don't know. I dealt with an experience earlier that really made me want to talk about this in a video, and I thought maybe I should talk about it in a live. It's all regurgitated information. People just got their own spin on it, okay? You follow who you want to follow. You take the advice of who you want to take advice from. It doesn't really matter. It all kind of leads back to the same thing, which is you shifting who you want to be, and basically getting your desires to be made manifest in this physical world. That's what it all comes down to. All these teachings, no matter who you follow, no matter what avenue you want to take or embrace, it doesn't really matter. It all comes down to you getting what you want in this physical world and you shifting who you are and just overall living the best life that you could possibly live. That's how I see it, at least. What the fuck is that? But how you doing, Infinity? Hope you're doing good. I don't know how long I'm gonna be live for, but I'm intending that some people join and see this live. But anyways, yeah, let's continue on. So that's number one. Thank you for the like. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to the process of manifestation, you have to understand that it's not just about you getting something, okay? Yes, that is a huge factor when it comes to the process, but what happens is when people fully self-identify with the mentality of, oh, if I do this, then I'll get this, and that's it. It's pretty problematic, I've seen. It's pretty problematic because what happens is a lot of these people have this expectation, it's like a chip on their edge. They're so focused on doing these techniques, doing these affirmations of, oh, if I do this, then finally something will change my reality. If I do this, then finally something will shift. Finally something will happen. And I'm telling you guys right now from experience, that is not the most beneficial, healthy way to go about this. I'm telling you that right now. Because you have this expectation. You're doing these things, but you're not really doing them with the intent of really changing who you are, of shifting your energy, of changing your self-identity, your self-concept. You're only doing these things just to get something, like a damn dog doing a trick to get a treat. I've used that expression multiple times, but it's very accurate. And you, my friends, are not dogs, okay? Fair to say. So, rather than approach it from that angle, start doing these things just because you enjoy doing them. Do these things with the intent of shifting who you are, of changing who you are, of changing your self-identity, of changing your self-concept so that you can live the best life that you could possibly live. Start doing these things to live your best life, to get yourself into a position where you're living your best life. Stop doing all these techniques and things just to get something and that's it. Like, for example, this is a part of the manifestation community when it comes to SPs that is so fucking toxic. Pardon my language, but people are in this mentality. They get introduced to manifestation and they're like, oh, if I do these affirmations, if I visualize this enough times, I'll get it, and that's it. They don't focus on anything else. Extremely toxic because, like I said, now you're creating this expectation and you'll be doing these things. A couple months go by, a couple weeks go by, and you're like, it isn't working. It isn't working. Where is it? Not knowing that the reason why is because of this expectation, this subtle thought process, mentality that you have involving it. So when you're doing these things, like I said, you want to do them for you. Don't do them for anybody else, but you do them for you, okay? You do them for you. You do them because you enjoy doing them, okay? And you do them so that you can live the best quality life possible, okay? By the way, I don't know how many people are in this live. For some reason, the little marker on the screen above disappeared on my end. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to post them down below. Alright, so, I mean, these are good points, I reckon, so far. But another good point... What the fuck is that? Is that a... God damn, is that a... That's a fucking wasp. But, another good point I want to make, too, is when you're going about this journey, it's very, very crucial that you understand, okay? Very crucial that you understand. And I'm a huge advocate of this. And I can't stress this enough. Just because it's been a certain duration of time does not mean, I repeat, does not mean you're doing anything wrong, okay? It doesn't automatically mean that you're doing something wrong. I'm telling you that right now from experience. Firsthand, just because it could be 6 months and you're not doing anything wrong. It could be a year or longer and you're not necessarily doing anything wrong. I tell you that from experience. And I say that to reassure you. If it's been a certain duration of time, it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Okay, that's number one. And number two, this whole idea of it shouldn't take longer than XYZ days, 24 hours, 3 days, 3 months, 3 weeks, blah, blah, blah. Toss it out the window because, how you doing, Amanda? Because that is not true, okay? There is no set date, set time frame for manifestation. It happens differently for everybody. I mean, for God's sake, you could be doing everything right. Everything. You can have your assumptions on point when it comes to time. You can have your assumptions, beliefs on point when it comes to yourself, your desires in relation to you. Okay? You could be living your life, not obsessing, blah, blah, blah. You know, all the things that this community would deem to be the right things to do, right? You could be doing everything right, and it still not happen right away. Now, why is that? I'm not absolutely certain, but I can tell you from experience that just because it's taking a while... I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by that fly. It's like a wasp or something. But just because it's taking a while doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, okay? So, I wanted to say that to reassure you. I can't quite explain all the specific ins and outs when it comes to it. I think it kind of falls in line with this whole idea of God's ways being greater than our own. You know? I don't think any one person's ever going to be able to fully figure out every single and if in between involving manifestation. But I can tell you that everybody manifests at different speeds. Some people manifest very quickly. Some people that manifest very quickly, certain things still happen a little while later. Some people manifest at an intermediate pace. Some people manifest at a longer pace. It's completely different for everybody. Some people manifest in 3 months. Some people manifest in 3 days. Some people manifest in a year. Some people manifest in 1 day. Some people manifest in 6 months. Some people manifest 6 weeks. It's completely different for everybody. And I know that nobody can disagree with that, right? Based on your own experience, maybe the stories you've read. So that's the thing. I just wanted to say this. So as long as we have the faith and the knowing that it is ours and it is happening, it doesn't matter, or it shouldn't matter how long it'll come, no matter what. Exactly. And you shouldn't be focused on the time involving how long it takes. None of you guys should be focusing on the time and how long it takes. In fact, if you can even tell me how long it's been, like if you can 100% tell me how long it's been, then I know that you're focused on time. If you're constantly asking people, how long is it gonna take? You're focused on time. If you're constantly manifesting on a time crunch, you're obviously focused on time. If you're constantly incorporating into your affirmations, everything happens fast, instantly, blah, 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 you're focused on time. You wanna speed up the process? Plant the seed, impress the mind, know it's done, live your life in that trust, faith, knowing, and that's it. And be open to it happening now. You want to speed up the process? Stop focusing on how to speed it up. It's a paradox. Because the more you keep focusing on time, the more time you potentially add to it, because what you focus on expands and grows. So you want to speed up the process? Stop focusing on how to speed it up. Stop asking people how to speed it up. Stop looking up videos on how to speed it up. And simply just be it right now. Be open to it right now. Dwell in the faith that it's done now. Dwell in the trust and the knowing that it's done now, that you have it now. It's all about the now, man. I'm telling you right now. Right? And it's funny, too, because I don't think people realize that if you're manifesting on a time crunch, if you're manifesting that things happen fast, you're automatically signifying to yourself that you don't have it. Because think about it. That's like me. This is a cat laser. That's like me going like this. Okay, I'm gonna manifest that this cat laser appears in my hand within the next 10 minutes, even though I already have it in my hand. Okay, how could I be manifesting on a time crunch if I know I already have it? So to signify, okay, to indicate, well, I can't think of the right word to use, but to suggest that, yeah, we'll use that word, that I'm gonna manifest this cat laser, okay, to be in my hand within the next 10 minutes would indicate that I do not have it, even though I clearly have it in my hand. You guys understand? Let me clarify that a little bit. So, what I'm saying is, if you're manifesting something on a time crunch, you're automatically indicating that you do not have it. Because if you had it, would you be manifesting it on a time crunch? To suggest, okay, I'm gonna manifest this thing super fast instantly is also automatically indicating that you do not have it. Because if you had something, would you be affirming that it comes in fast? Would you be affirming that it comes in instantly? You already have it. It's already here for you. It's already done. It's here. It's literally here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not encouraging you guys, like, if you guys want to create this idea that you can manifest quickly, easily, effortlessly, by all means, dwell on that assumption, that thought process, live from that state. I do. But when you're constantly focusing, like the SP thing, when you're constantly focusing on, oh, I'm going to get my SP within the next 24 hours, you're indicating that you don't have them now. And for a lot of people, that's why they don't end up manifesting within a certain duration of time. It's a weird kind of process. For some people it works, for some people it doesn't. So that's all I wanted to say in regards to that. Handsome, I appreciate you, thank you. Yeah, I woke up my... Hey, what's up, Law of Assumption Backdoor? You just missed my little explanation on why focusing on time isn't a good thing. Thanks for the likes, guys. You know, I've decided that I'm gonna go live. I'm probably gonna go live maybe at some point again. Probably tomorrow. I caught the end of it, yeah. I like these lives on YouTube. I don't think I'm gonna upload every single live. I think I'm definitely gonna upload this one because we touched base on a lot of key points so far, but yesterday's upload, I didn't even mean to upload it. I actually clicked cancel. I clicked to cancel the upload and then it somehow still went through. I don't understand. I think it might have been a connection issue, but yeah, that's it, man. Stop focusing on time, okay? Stop fucking focusing on time. What you focus on expands and grows, period. When you can continuously, constantly focus on time, you run the risk of adding more time to it. And stop manifesting everything on a time crunch too, because you're indicating to yourself that you do not have it. Because again, as a finalized example, as a finalized way of explaining, if I manifest something on a time crunch, that's an indicator that I do not have it. Because if I had something, would I be manifesting it on a time crunch? Fucking no. And the best way to speed it up is to dwell in the knowing that you have it now. I'm telling you guys right now, the way to speed it up is not to affirm that it happens instantly, or it's not to affirm that it happens by a specific date. That is not the way to speed it up. The way to speed it up is A, coming from healthy, unconditional love. B, dwelling from the knowing that it's done now, okay? And C, just knowing it's done as a whole. Having the faith that it's done, having the trust that it's done. That is the way to speed up the process. Don't believe me? Go ahead and test it out, man. Seriously, test it out. See how fast these things come in. Certain things. I'm not saying everything, but see how fast certain things come in. When you're simply embodying the state of it being done now. When you're embodying the state of having it now. Of knowing it's done now. Of having the trust, the faith, etc. Seriously, man. It's fucking magic, man. It's magical. For God's sake, I was in my friend's game shop. The one maybe you guys have heard me talk about before. I was in there the other day, and I'm literally looking through games. Dude, it wasn't even 15 minutes. It wasn't even 15 minutes. I'm sitting there looking through the games, and in my head, I'm dwelling from the state of having it now. I knew with absolute certainty and knowing this, I'm sitting there in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna get this game for free. I don't know how, but I'm gonna get this game for free, or a discounted price. So I pick it up, and this isn't even the first time that this has happened. This is like the fucking, it's like the 10th time, to be honest with you, because I'd be getting them $5 games because they'd be really good sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Them $5 games be kicking it. Them old school games. Sometimes $10, man. And no, I'm not cheap. It's just a lot of the games that he has are around that price range that I really want to play. And I'm sitting there, I pick up this game. It's an old school game for PS3 called Borderlands. Maybe some of you guys have heard it. And I'm sitting there with it in my hand. I'm like, yo, Jay, I'm gonna get this. And he's like, oh, just take it. And I'm like, dude, you sure? Like, I'll give you the money. He's like, nah, dude, you good. Just get me next time. And I'm like, all right, cool. Easy and effortless within like 15 minutes. And all I did was say a couple times in my head that I'm gonna get that game for free. I don't know how. I'm gonna get it for free, or I'm gonna get it at a discounted price. And I ended up getting it. And the reason why I was able to get it so fast, in my opinion, is because A, I knew it was done. I had the certainty, I had the knowing, I impressed my mind within like 15 minutes prior. It happened 15 minutes later. And furthermore, I was coming from love with it. So that's why I'm telling y'all, man, coming from love is the key. And by the way, for the 10 people that are in this chat, I just wanted to let y'all know that I am still offering a 1-hour call with me for $70. Normally it's $100. So if you want to save yourself if you guys want to save yourself some money, book in with me. It's a good investment, man, because we're gonna sit down on the phone. We're gonna talk about your circumstances. I'm gonna give you suggestions, help you identify some limiting beliefs, and offer you tips and tricks. Maybe give you a homework assignment or two. Excuse me, I can't talk. Give you a homework assignment or two. And yeah, among other things, of course, like answering any questions. So if you guys are interested in that, feel free. All the information is going to be posted in the first comment below. My Instagram is Live From The End with Joey. Same title handle as YouTube. My Yahoo is livefromtheend@yahoo.com. Again, that's livefromtheend@yahoo.com. So if you guys are interested, you're going to save yourself $30, man. And you don't even have to do the full 1-hour call up front. You could split it up. You know, we could do a 30 minutes here. We could do 30 minutes there. It's up to you. It's a good investment, man. I'm telling you that right now. I've dropped the sale like 2 days ago, and I've already had a plethora of people take advantage of it and super satisfied. I actually got a couple of success stories that I'm going to be posting because people have already been getting results, literally. Like I had one client literally just today, earlier today, share with me a success story, and we had our call like 2 days ago. So I'm telling you that right now, man. All right? So yeah, getting back on track and probably be live for the next, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. But yeah, a lot of good ground that I think we covered so far today. Um, Another thing I want to talk about is it's not about the techniques when it comes to manifestation, because so many of you guys are like, oh, what's the best scene to visualize? You know, what's the most powerful way to visualize, or rather, what's the most powerful scene to utilize in visualization? What's the most powerful affirmations? What affirmations do I use? Blah blah blah. Right, guys, it's not about that. Okay, it is not about any of that. The visualizations, the affirmations are there. Thank you for the likes. The visualizations, the affirmations are there to get yourself into this position of knowing that it's done. That's it, of impressing the mind. Okay, so you guys are focusing way too heavily on the right affirmations, probably not even realizing that the affirmations you have now aren't enough. Probably not even realizing that the visualizations you're doing now are enough. You know, it's not about that. It's about knowing it's done. Okay, planting the seed, having the faith that it's done, the trust, the visualizations, the affirmations are just there to get you to that point. I get it. You may not have certain affirmations right now that resonate with you. In which case, all you got to do is sit with yourself, man. All you got to do is sit with yourself in a relaxed space, in the silence, as Neville Goddard would say, and just simply talk to your inner source. Ask yourself, what are the best affirmations I can utilize when it comes to the subject matter? That's all. You don't have to look outside of you. You have all the answers within you. Some of my greatest affirmations I unraveled, my greatest ideas I unraveled just in this silence, in this meditative hypnotic state, just talking to the God within. Like my SP affirmation. I was in this hypnotic state and the affirmation came unexpectedly. I was like, me and my person have an amazing marriage, and immediately after, not even a split second, there was no time had it's as if no time had passed at all. Immediately after, our love inspires the world. And I've been utilizing that ever since, and I first came up with that, I don't know, last year in 2021. So that's all you got to do. If you're having trouble visualizing, if you're having trouble affirming in the right things, all you got to do is go within and start communicating to your inner source and start asking yourself questions. You have all the answers within you. You know, even for you guys that want to unravel your limiting beliefs, this is a technique that I share to my clients, with my clients. It's not even a technique. It's honestly, it's the only technique part of it is just simply getting yourself relaxed and training yourself to relax in the moment. And you just ask yourself questions like, what core foundational limiting beliefs do I have involving love and relationships in my life? What core beliefs do I have involving this person in relation to me? You get what I'm saying? And you allow the answers to unfold to you. You don't go seeking and searching. You allow them to unfold. Okay? Ooh, it's fucking hot. Oh, man. How do I change my subconscious beliefs? Can you talk about what this inspired action really means? I don't really understand. Yeah, I got you. So we'll start with Infinity's question first because that's easier for me. Actually, no, we'll do the subconscious beliefs one. So how do you change your subconscious beliefs? Well, first you got to get clear about what belief you want to change. In which case you can apply that little tool that I just utilized by getting yourself calm and relaxed in the silence and asking yourself questions. But let's say you have a belief, very simply put, that you are not worthy and chosen for love. You are not worthy of love. So now all you got to do is start visualizing or scripting out or affirming in something that indicates that you are worthy of love. It's literally that simple. Through the repetition, through the consistency and persistence and commitment when it comes to it, to whatever you're doing, that belief will end up changing. Okay, that belief will end up changing. Let's talk about getting signs but not getting manifestations. Sure. So that's how you change the subconscious belief, is through the repetition, through the consistency, the commitment, the persistence. And it's taking too long. Well, no, it's not taking too long. You're thinking it's taking too long, but it's actually probably happening in the fastest way possible, honey. You need to stop focusing on time and assuming it's taking too long. That's a childish thing to dwell in. Are you a child? Are you a kid? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking because I'm not sure how old you are. It's very immature to be like, it's taking too long. That's something a child would say. Okay? Is there a set amount of times you to affirm? Affirm when you're inspired. Affirm when you feel called to do so. Affirm when the subject matter gets popped into your mind. Affirm when you just genuinely want to, but make it a habit of doing it daily. But no, 21, but it's been a year. And a year is not a long time. A year is not a long time. And it's still a childish thing to be like it's taking too long. Very immature. I'm not here to call anybody out, but I'm just speaking the facts. A year is not a long time if you know that you're going to be with this desire for the rest of your life. And if you're viewing through the lens of it's taking too long, you're probably not viewing through the lens of this desire being in your life for the rest of your life. First of all, second of all, true love shouldn't be rushed. There is no it's taking too long when it comes to true love. Okay? And again, if you're viewing through the lens of it's taking too long involving something you supposedly love, it's probably ego-based love. Okay? But we'll talk about the signs in just a moment. But first, I want to talk about the other question that this person asked, which was, can you talk about inspired action? So, guys, there's 3 types of action, okay? There's 3 types of action. There's forced action, okay? Whereas I see some people getting same desires in a week, it's kind of make me feel like I'm doing something wrong, right? But I guarantee you most of these people are not getting the full-fledged manifestation within weeks. They're getting these little minuscule ego-based things. And first of all, and second of all, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to others. Okay, you should not be comparing yourself to others. Everybody manifests in different ways, forms. You're not doing anything wrong just because it's been a year. I've manifested plenty of things multiple months later and even years later, and I know for a fact I was doing everything right. Okay, there is no set amount of time for a manifestation. It happens differently for everybody, but there's 3 types of action, guys. Forced action, inspired action, and natural action. So forced action is that manipulative action. I'll give you a clear and concise example. I'm going to post on social media, and I'm going to tell myself I'm just posting just to post, but subconsciously I'm really posting it to get the person's attention. That forced manipulative action. Or I'm going to post with the intent that they get a reaction, or that they react to it. Okay, that's forced action. That's the action you want to stay away from. Natural action is that type of action that's so natural to you in the moment that you're not even necessarily aware that you're doing it until looking back in hindsight. It's that type of action to where you wake up all like half asleep, half awake, and at like 4 o'clock, you go use the bathroom on autopilot, you're not even aware of where you are, and then it's like a dream state, and then you go back and you fall asleep. And then you wake up in the morning, I'm like, wow, I don't even remember using the bathroom. You know, you're not even aware of it. That's what that natural action is. An inspired action is that type of action to where you just feel this, I'm gonna, like you wake up in the morning, it's like, yo, we're working out today, and we're gonna do it. You just feel inspired and then you end up doing it. But you're still aware of it in the moment. Okay, so now let's talk about signs when it comes to manifestation. Okay, because I know a lot of you guys have questions on signs. So signs, there's 2 categories when it comes to it. Number 1 is, how do I explain it? The first category is that you do technically assign meaning to the signs that come up in your world. Like if you're constantly seeing 111, you get to assign the meaning, you know, that could be a sign. You can assign the meaning that anything is a sign that your manifestation's on its way, that your manifestation is done. You know, me wearing this is a sign to me that my manifestation is done. Okay, or me just looking at it. You get to assign the meaning. That's the first category. Now, the second category is if you're manifesting something, let's say an SP, okay, and you impress the subconscious properly with the desire fulfilled, let's say being happily married to them, okay, and then all of a sudden you start seeing happy married couples. You start seeing people get engaged and start seeing people get married. And it's not a continuous thing. Sometimes you can see signs for like a week, and then there's no signs for like 4 months, and then you start seeing more signs, and then you get the manifestation. That can't happen. It's not always a continuous thing. Or maybe you start seeing their name out of the blue, and you never started seeing their name before. These are indicators to suggest that you have been heard, that you have impressed the subconscious, that you have planted your seed. And if you've seen, it even talks about this in the Bible, if you've seen a few or more of the same or similar types of signs, then your manifestation's done. It's going to be experienced by you by any means way, shape, or form. Okay, so that's obviously a great thing. But you never know when you're going to receive your manifestation. The fact is, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but the fact is that you can be experiencing signs. Can you talk about placebo effect when it comes to manifesting through placebo? I mean, it's the same as anything else. Okay, if I take a pill, for example, or rather, I'll use this water as an example. So every time I drink water, every time I drink from this jug, I set the intention, either in my mind or out loud before I start sipping it, that I am in perfect health. My manifestations are done. My manifestations are flowing to me, are here for me now in the most easiest and effortless ways. And I'm literally in, and honestly, my reality does reflect it back to me. Um, but I'm in the state. I'm in the state where I am assuming, I am believing that this water is benefiting me in my life. But this is just water. This is just water. Yeah, it has its health benefits, but drinking water doesn't, for average folk, drinking water doesn't normally mean that you're going to get your desires or anything like that. But I've assigned this meaning to it, and therefore, hold on, this fucking. Therefore, finally, god damn, I killed it. Fucking bug I was trying to kill for that long. Finally got it done. So that's what that means. It's just basically you dwelling in the state of belief involving a specific something. You're basically assigning the meaning to it. Like, for example, the sugar pill method, where two parties, Party A, okay, thank you so much, absolutely. Just to clarify it, Party A, this is a common example that a lot of people use. So Party A takes a pill, like an actual pill, right? Like let's say a calcium building pill, or an iron supplement, right? So they're taking this pill, okay, that's supposed to promote a healthy iron level in their body, okay? And they're told that these are iron pills, okay? They're told they're iron pills. And then you have, or you have Party B that's taking sugar pills, okay? And they're also told they're iron pills. So now they believe that what they're taking is an iron-related supplement, okay? So what happens is both parties get results. Obviously, Party A got results because they're actually taking an iron pill. They were told it was an iron pill. They're aware of that. Party B was told that it's an iron pill even though it was a sugar pill. So they unconsciously assumed that what they were taking was an iron-related pill. So they experienced the benefits from it. Do you understand? So, yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, guys, just to wrap this up, how fast your manifestation comes in, you'll never really know. It can happen in a week, it can happen in a year, it can happen in 2 years, it can happen in 2 hours, it can happen in 6 months, it can happen in 3.5 months, it can happen in 4 months and a quarter. It's all different times. It's completely different for everybody. There is no absolute set time frame for manifestation. So if anybody is telling you guys that if it's been 6 months, 3 months, or a year, and you're doing something wrong, it shouldn't be taking that long, that is their own limiting belief, okay, because they clearly don't understand how this process works accurately when it comes to time, okay? And I know there's a lot of coaches, especially on YouTube and TikTok, that are sharing with you guys it shouldn't take longer than 3 weeks, or it shouldn't take longer than 24 hours or 3 days. Throw it all out the window because they're bestowing their limiting beliefs on you, because that's not true. I know that that's not true. I could tell you with 100% certainty that that's not true because I've tested it out. 100%. There have been multiple manifestations where I 100% know for a fact that I did not have resistance to it. I did not have contradicting stories or thoughts. I was completely in the state of having. I impressed the subconscious mind. I was coming from love. I was in the place of knowing that it was done now and that I could experience it right now. And it still didn't happen exactly when I wanted it to. It didn't take too long for it to happen afterwards, but it didn't happen the exact moment that I wanted it to. But when it did happen after the fact, again, not too long after, it happened at a perfect time. Okay? So that's why I'm telling you guys, okay? It's completely different for everybody, okay? So you never have to feel like you're doing something wrong. Okay, if it's been a year, if it's been 2 years, I don't give a fuck if it's been 4 years, bro. That still doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. I had a client, yesterday's success story. You guys saw that, right? It's doing really well right now. A lot of people are liking that video because there's facts being spit in that video. That client success story, the supermarket one, she was manifesting her person for 9 months. 9 months. Okay, she was manifesting her person for 9 months. She didn't get any movement. The only amount of movement she got was in that third month in, she started seeing the person's name. And that was it. She didn't get any movement. No indicators, no signs other than that. But she trusted that it was done. She knew it was done. She was dwelling in the knowing that it was done. She was choosing to dwell in the knowing. She was choosing not to get discouraged. She was choosing not to focus on time. She was choosing to live her life and manifest in other areas of her life. And what happened? She feels a random impulse one day to go to a supermarket, feels another random impulse while she's in the supermarket to hit up aisle 10, and boom, she sees her person there in the middle of the aisle going through the bottom shelf looking for items and supplies and whatnot. Supplies. So that's what I'm telling you guys. Number one, time doesn't matter. Okay, it happened at the exact perfect moment. Okay, and it happened at a really good time in her life. She was content. She was calm. She was chilling. She was living her life. Everything was good. So that's number one. Time doesn't matter. And number two, just because you're not experiencing physical movement doesn't mean you're doing something wrong either. Because sometimes physical movement doesn't happen, and that person's literally proof. I can't tell you how many times my first apartment. It took about. I set the intention to manifest my first apartment in 2018. I was sitting with my brother. I still remember the day. It was late at night. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting with my brother. He's a little intoxicated. I'm sitting there. We're just talking, and we're like, we got to get up out of here. It's finally time to move out and live our lives. And we set the intention. I low-key impressed my subconscious mind in full. Literally, we were discussing it for like 45 minutes to an hour on that moment. I unconsciously impressed the subconscious mind. I wasn't made aware that I impressed the subconscious mind until like 2 months in. But wouldn't you know, for like a year and 10 months, give or take, okay, so because that's how long it took. It took literally about 2 years. I got my first apartment in 2020. For that year and 10 months, I didn't experience any physical movement at all. No physical movement, no indicators, no signs, and I know, like I said with the other shit, I know that there wasn't really resistance to it. I've never had a resistance to the idea of fucking getting my own place. Never had it. It's just I've never really had a desire until that day to actually manifest my own place. And you want to know what's strange too? It's not even strange. It's actually pretty wonderful. Is how it happened. Is when it was finally ready for me to experience the manifestation. A year and 10 months later. It was during COVID, and everybody was on like that. What's it called? The government assistance, the fucking unemployment shit. They were getting like extra $600, and my brother was telling me about it, and I held off on it because I was working full time for security. But then when the security position cut my hours by a fuck ton, I'm like, okay, I qualify for this now. So I hooked up on unemployment. Okay, 3 weeks later, I wake up to, I think it was like close to 2,500 in my account. I already had money saved up. My brother had like 2,500, well, about like 2,300 in his account, and it literally took a week. Okay, so it took a year and 10 months to get up to the point of me experiencing the manifestation. Okay, within a week of me, I woke up one day, I saw the money. I was completely neutral about it. It was crazy. I saw that money. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I hit up my brother immediately. He has his money. We start looking for places. Literally a week later, I'm hitting up my dad. I'm like, yeah, I'm moving out. You know what I'm saying? It's time. Boom, we're in our own place. Literally, easy and effortless. But it took a year and 10 months, okay? Well, it took 2 years to get to that point. So that's why I'm telling you guys too, time does not fucking matter, okay? All right, so if you guys require additional support, feel free to reach out to me, guys. Like I said, I'm offering a 1 hour session for $70. Normally it's 100, so you're getting $30 off, and you can split the session up. You could do 30 minutes today, or 30 minutes tomorrow, and 30 minutes another day. I've had so many people reach out already within the last 2 days alone, and I'm gonna share a success story. You know, someone gave me the honor of sharing the success story. I'm gonna share it a little bit later, of someone that's already received results. When we had our hour-long call yesterday, okay, we had it yesterday. Well, excuse me, 2 days ago, not yesterday. I'm thinking about someone else yesterday, but we had it 2 days ago. And she hit me up this morning talking about how she already got results based on the advice that I gave her. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, feel free. My Instagram is Live From The End with Joey, and my Yahoo is livefromtheend@yahoo.com. Okay. So much love and peace. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Stay on the lookout for more content, community tab posts, and be on the lookout for today's video. Okay. Haven't decided what I'm gonna record about, but I'm sure it'll benefit you guys. All right. Much love and peace, and have a beautiful rest of your day.